And welcome on in. Week 8, wagerweekly.com. Paul Nolan breaking down your Sunday card. Next up, Dallas and the Rams. Paul Nolan. And you look at this Dallas team, everybody thinks about the quarterback and the coach and the offense and the playmakers and the wide receivers. But you look at this defense for the Cowboys, and you can kind of break them down into like two categories. That's the defense that played against the Giants, Jets, Patriots, and Chargers, where they held those teams to 7.5 points. The second category is when they lose to places like the Cardinals and the 49ers, where the defense gets torched. So what defense is going to show up in this one?
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I think that Arizona game was an anomaly. They just didn't come to play. Those things happen. I completely understand. I'm going to write it off. This to me is one of those spots where, Dak is so good in these situations as a 6-point favorite or more. He's 26-11-1 against the spread. And at home 21-4. This is where he does well when he's got an inferior team going against him. Now, this Rams team, I was on them last week. The defense was pretty darn stout for most of that game. Then after a field goal missed by that team, they just caved in. It was like one bad break, one really steamy bullshit call after another. It was really a rough game to watch, especially because, they really were the better team on the field. Now, I hate going against a team that comes off a loss, especially when they were probably the better team. But I like this spot for Dallas. Dallas comes, off their bye. They're well rested. The offense has not been good, but I do like Dak in these spots. So I'm pretty confident that you'll see Dallas in their bully mode this week, and then it'll be back to more of the same for them the following week. They've got the Eagles, on deck. They have to win this game to keep pace. It's an absolute must-win for them here. I just don't see them looking ahead off the bye. Now, if they came off a blowout win last week, they were feeling a little too good about themselves, or they had a dominant record going into the bye where they're all going to Cabo and they're partying and drinking and reading the press about themselves, I'd be a little more concerned. But coming out of the bye kind of desperate to keep pace with a reeling Eagles team. This Eagles team doesn't look as good as it has. It's starting to get on, track, but losing their offense and defensive coordinators clearly making a difference, especially in the red zones. And we know that Dallas had their problems here, but I like the spot for Dallas. I think we're catching a good value here. I thought the line should be 7. To catch them at 5.5 in some places right now is just a tremendous value. 6 is still fine by me. 6.5 is fine by me. But the fact that I can still see some 5.5 out there right now, and mostly 6.5s, just catch it now before, obviously we're recording this early in the week, but try to catch it while there's still value.
All right, there you go. Cowboys and Rams, an early look from Paul Nolan on that one. Looking at the Cowboys in that one. Week 8 right here, wagerweekly.com.